What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Liam Smith versus Hassan Mwakinyo, and this is going to be a 12-rounder in the super-welterweight division, and this fight is going to be Saturday, September 3rd, from the M&S Bank Arena in Liverpool, England, and this fight is going to be broadcasted on Sky Sports. And to get both fighters' resumes, Liam Smith, fighting out of England, holds a record of 31 wins with 3 defeats and 1 draw, with 18 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 6 by BoxRec in the super welterweight division. He's also the former WBO super welterweight world champion and the former interim WBO super welterweight world champion. And to list all 3 of his defeats, then his draw, he has a knockout loss to Canelo Alvarez, he has a unanimous decision defeat to Jaime Munguia, and he has a controversial unanimous decision loss to Magomed Kurbanov. And to list his one and only draw, it came by points against Harry Caruthers earlier on in his career. And to list some of his best victories, he has a knockout win over Jimmy Kelly, a knockout and majority decision win over Liam Williams. Well, actually, a stoppage win and a majority decision win over Liam Williams. He also has a knockout win over Sam Eggington, a unanimous decision victory over Roberto Garcia, a knockout win over Anthony Fowler, and he's coming off a very solid stoppage win over Jesse Vargas. But to get his opponent's resume, Hassan Mwakinyo, fighting out of Tanzania, holds a record of 20 wins but 2 defeats and 14 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 20 by BoxRec in the super welterweight division. And to first of all list both of his defeats, then his best wins, he has a knockout loss to Shabani Kauneka. I'm not really too sure to pronounce his name, but it was some fighter from, I believe, Tanzania. It was in Tanzania, and it was early on in his career. He got stopped. I believe it was in the early rounds, but to list his second loss, that fight was also in Tanzania, I believe so, and that came, or no, that was actually in Russia, yeah. Second loss came to a prospect in Russia, and it was by a wide unanimous decision, and the guy's name was Lendrush Akopian. But to list some of his best victories, he got a very nice upset knockout win over Sam Eggington, and he's also got a knockout win over Julius Ndongo. But the Ndongo win, if it was a few years ago, it obviously would look better, but it's still definitely the second best win on his resume to date. So in my opinion, this fight is going to go easily in favor of the former world champion Liam Smith. I just think that he's much more experienced than Mwakinyo. He's fought the better guys, beaten the better guys. He's currently ranked higher. He's just overall a better fighter, and he's very, very experienced in the top game. So I just think that he'll utilize that experience and just get the job done here. Mwakinyo, like I said, has been stopped before, so I think that Liam Smith, despite I've seen a lot of people saying that Smith might get a points win, I think that Smith is going to actually get the stoppage victory here. Even though Mwakinyo has looked pretty good in his last couple fights, and a lot of people are talking about his power, I just think that Liam Smith, like I said before, much too experienced at the top level for Mwakinyo, and I think he'll just break Mwakinyo down as the fight goes on. And the thing is, Liam Smith, in his last couple fights, he's been in a pretty good run. Like I said, defeated Fowler, defeated Vargas, but before that, he did get that controversial loss to Kurbanov in Russia. So, in my opinion, he did beat Kurbanov. I thought it was, I thought it was a competitive fight, but I thought that Smith won it pretty clear. That happened in I think May of 2021. So he's since rebounded with 2 very good wins, getting himself right back in that top 5, top 6 in the super welterweight division. Via BoxRec and even Ring Magazine, I believe, has him definitely in the top 10. So he's definitely a world-ranked fighter in this weight class. Mwakinyo, he's definitely sort of that fringe contender level. So I think that Liam Smith will have a pretty good night here in front of his fans in Liverpool, and I think he'll get the job done. And just to break this fight down, I think Liam Smith will be the aggressor in this fight, even though Mwakinyo in his last couple fights has been the one throwing the big bombs coming forward. I just think that Liam Smith will just bully Mwakinyo and just be the one coming forward, landing the bigger and better shots. I think that Mwakinyo, just like how he was against Sam Eggington, Eggington was the one coming forward. And Mwakinyo was the one on the outside a bit, trying to land big counter punches, and he was able to land some big ones that got Eggington out of there. But I think Liam Smith has a much more solid chin than Eggington, and I just think that Smith is just overall a much more experienced fighter with sort of fighters like that. So I think that Smith will be the one coming forward primarily throughout this fight, whilst I think that Mwakinyo will be the one fighting at mid-range trying to counterpunch, but I could definitely see Mwakinyo coming forward a bit with some of his own offense, but not really having much success in this fight because I think that Smith will primarily be winning most of the rounds. And just to break this fight down round by round, I think the first 3 rounds will be pretty easily scored for Liam Smith. Maybe Mwakinyo will be able to land some nice shots here and there, but I think that Smith will primarily get those rounds. I think he'll be up 30-27. I mean, maybe if one round's competitive, since it's the early rounds, they're feeling each other out, Mwakinyo might get it, but it most likely will be like 30-27 after 3. I think anywhere from rounds 4, 5, and 6, or 4 and 5, actually, I think that Smith will still be the better fighter. He'll be landing the bigger and better shots coming forward, and he'll just be the one scoring the better points, or scoring the better shots, getting more points, and just racking up these rounds. And I think that ultimately, as the fight goes on, like from round 6 to rounds 10, like once those middle rounds start in this 12-round fight, I think that Liam Smith will start to put on the offense a bit more, start to land bigger and better shots on Mwakinyo. Mwakinyo's offense, defense, I don't think is that great. He's primarily known for coming forward, but in his biggest fights, he's been sort of the one on the back foot. But I mean, it did pay off, even though he's not really known for his counter punching that much. I mean, against Eggington, it worked out perfectly, and he was able to land some big counters that got Eggington out of there. But if he's able to land a big counterpunch on Smith, I mean, who knows how Smith's going to respond. I know Mwakinyo has power, but Smith, I mean, throughout his career, he's shown that he's had a great chin. But I think Mwakinyo should go to the body a bit more, in this fight because Smith, the only time he got stopped, I know it's by one of the best fighters in the world, in Canelo Alvarez, who stopped him to the body. I just think that Mwakinyo might be smart for him to try and slow Liam Smith down as he comes forward by going to the body, mixing up the combinations to the head as well. But I don't think he's going to implement that game plan too well. And I think that Liam Smith, like I said before, will be the one dictating the pace of the fight coming forward and landing the bigger and better shots. And then, like I said, when it starts to get to the middle rounds, like from round 6 all the way up into the late rounds, like a mid to late stoppage, I think is definitely foreseeable for Liam Smith, and that's what I think is going to happen. I think that anywhere at any point in this fight, when I think Smith will get the stoppage from round 6 to rounds 10, I think he will be up very comfortably. I think that rounds 4, 5, and 6 will most likely go to Smith as well. Like I said, the only rounds that I think Mwakinyo could edge is like maybe one of the first 3, like when they're feeling each other out. That's really it. So like let's say this fight goes 8 rounds or past 8 rounds. I think Smith could be up 79-73, 80-72, something like that. Like if it goes 6, could be 59-55. But anywhere from there, I think that Liam Smith will get a stoppage win. I think he'll start to land bigger shots as the fight goes on Mwakinyo. I think Mwakinyo will start to buckle, start to get hurt, and he might get a standing stoppage, might drop Mwakinyo a few times, but most likely I think that Liam Smith will get a standing stoppage over Hassan Mwakinyo that will go on his resume, obviously, as a knockout. But nonetheless, I think regardless how this fight ends, like if it was a brutal knockout, if it was a standing stoppage, I think that Liam Smith will get the knockout win on his resume and improve to 32-3-1 with 19 knockouts. So comment down below your thoughts on this fight, who you think is going to win. So overall, I believe that Liam Smith will get yet another very solid win, as I think he will defeat Hassan Mwakinyo by knockout, and I think that the stoppage will happen from round 6 to rounds 10. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.